Hey everyone, today this is another real talk video where I'm going to talk real things about the very real topic, which is Cyberpunk 2077. Is it a failed masterpiece or just another piece of shit? So let's start about some introduction about this game. Why is it so anticipated and why did it fail so hard? So the first point is the game was announced back in 2013, if I'm correct, and in 2008 they released a gameplay video of 40 and something minutes, which hyped up players and gamers very much. And after that gameplay video they talked a lot about the game and what is going to be in the game and what has been created for this game and so on and so forth. And so to generate hype in gamers was only natural, but when the game actually came out, everyone saw actually what was made and what was promised, and the two didn't align. And I can start talking about that. Why didn't the promised and the and the real game, why they didn't match? But I won't go so in depth because this video would take so many hours and it does not make sense. So another thing which kinda started developing concerns in gamers was the fact that the game was delayed 3 times. It was originally announced to come out in April this year, which means that if the game actually came out in the April, it would be even worse experience for all gamers that bought the game. So, and there are some people that actually pre-ordered the game, I think back in 2019, so last year, and some pre-ordered the game before the release date that was announced for the April of this year. So you can imagine the backlash that, as you can see on the internet, and if you play the game, the backlash that CDPR actually received. And also I'm seeing some developers talking about how it's hypocritical that they released a game that has a theme of corporate hypocrisy and conspiracy, while the same thing happened to them, to the developers, and it's not their fault, they didn't have enough time. So let's talk about the state of the game, because the game is riddled with bugs and also broken mechanics. And the only good thing in this game is actually the graphics and the main story. Even though some people might not like the main story, and there are obvious things that were removed from the story because there was not enough time to make everything. So the bugs from a broken AI, visual bugs, user interface bugs, bugs in menus, game crashes, animation bugs, you name it, position in the game's world bugs. I mean, literally, when I played after I think first half an hour or an hour of gameplay, I encountered some of the bugs, but after I'd say 10-15 hours of game time, I encountered a lot of bugs, but the game was fun. That's the thing, the game is actually fun, but the more you play the game, the less fun it becomes, and because you encounter so many bugs. And there are also optimization issues, not only for consoles but for PC, especially for the people who have AMD. processors because they didn't do something for multi-threading, and it's not using the CPU properly, and it's laying all the work for the GPU, and that's why the FPS drops. Generally, low FPS is happening and is present to all of the players who play this game, except maybe for the ones who have overpowered PCs that are too expensive for regular people to buy. Let's talk about gameplay. Gameplay is probably the best thing in this game because you have so much options to create your character, to develop your character, to develop a certain playstyle, to adapt your playstyle to the situations and, generally speaking, to the missions that you have to play in the game. So that is the one thing that they promised, and they actually fulfilled that promise. Everything else is more or less disappointing, especially the vehicle movement when you're driving and when you're being driven. I'm saying this because literally when you're being driven in the passenger seat of the car, it feels like a child is literally playing with toy cars, like it's moving the car around. It's unbelievably bad. I mean, for a company that has a reputation for creating awesome games, this is really a ninth circle of hell for them. And yeah, the story, again, there are some things that were actually removed from the story, because remembering all the videos and all the deep dives and all the interviews with quest designers and storytellers and so on and so forth, I remember that there were things said that they are going to be in the game, and after completing the whole game, I can only say that they removed so many things. It's unreal. And I'm saying this because not only gameplay things, but also story things. They literally said that there are going to be something in the story regarding two factions. One is a gang and one is corporation, and it was regarding net, and it was completely removed. It was I think changed to suit the not to suit the story, but to suit the time that they had to finish the game. And it's very sad that they had to remove huge parts of the game just to fit to the timeline that they have been given, and also even the time that they have been given was not enough time to polish the game, which is ironic because they're a Polish company and they couldn't polish. But yeah, it's disappointing, and probably there are going to be updates in the future that are going to fix everything, and that they are going to add some content, but for the state that the game is in, I would give it, I don't know, 6 out of 10 or 10, 7 out of 10, because simply the game it has a lot of content, it can be a lot of fun, but there are so many bugs that break immersion. It's bad, man, and the people that gave it 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10 are completely brain dead. That's all I'm going to say. And that's it. And yeah, have a nice day, have a nice weekend. Fuck this year, fuck this game, and goodbye.